Welcome back, Rico Moneybags, the channel helping you invest in yourself so we can invest in the future. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure that bell notification stays lit like that. You guys will not miss out for any future updates, especially when 1 minute the markets are pulling back and testing everybody. We got nonstop red, then nonstop boring consolidation, and now we got a little bit of green. So you definitely want to keep that bell notification lit, even if we're in the shadow realm from YouTube or whatever it might be. But we're live streaming from YouTube. We're live streaming from 2 accounts on X, but it really takes you, the listener, to get this to the next level. So make sure you guys, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. Share this everywhere, whether you're listening on X, YouTube, later on TikTok or whatnot. But let's start off right at the top. We got the overall crypto market cap at 3.89, so $3.9 trillion market cap. We're seeing a little bit of life in the market. I know you guys are feeling the sentiment already change. Isn't that kind of wild? How we see the things go from red to green, and it's like, oh man, I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit better. Bitcoin at 112, it's not 123, but it's, you know, it's headed in the right direction, right? So we got Bitcoin back up almost 3% up on the week. We got ETH right here holding strong above 4K. Did pull back where on the weekly it wasn't green, but nonetheless, ETH above 4K is looking really good. We got XRP. I've been telling everybody that is an XRP maxi. Those who love that XRP, let me know in the chat, because I've been telling you guys, even though it's been pulling back, if you're bullish on it, those were opportunities. Now we'll get the cliche out the way. None of this is financial advice, yada, yada, yada. But those opportunities, when the markets were being fearful, were you being greedy? You know, you got to flip the script. Sometimes the markets will test you quite a bit. And now you're seeing, you know, XRP closer to $3, up 8%, just like that on the week. Pretty fast. Another one that's just performing so strong that I've been telling you guys about for so long, and I'm excited to see it right now at 880, fam. That is, of course, BNB. You guys know XPX, the project I launched, is on the Binance Smart Chain. And to see this BNB just thriving back to back and all that asset backing that we got going into those XPX token gets me really excited, because, man, BNB has been really showing out. And I've been telling people for a long time, whether or not this bull cycle we were going to see, you know, a 1K BNB, I had no question, zero doubt about that. Solana was also very impressive this week, holding strong at 8.7%. I mean, even when BTC was pulling back, even when Ethereum was pulling back, we saw Solana holding above $200. We saw BNB holding well above $800. So it's pretty interesting when you see the markets testing everybody and pulling back, but you know, it gets into that boring stage. That's why yesterday was like, are the markets boring or what? But they're just hitting that floor, finding that support level so that they can then start to rise up. Let's start off right here at BTC. I got some special guests. I got the Knine Finance DAO taxing himself. If you're part of the taxing community, the Knine Finance community, I said the taxing community because, man, make sure you guys pull up, call the rest of the Knine Finance DAO. Let's clean this chart up a little bit. We want to get to BTC. We're going to talk about what's happening right now because we've been waiting for this, and I have to bring this up. We're not going to be talking about it for a week and a half when the market's pulling us back and testing us, and we've been waiting for these signals to pop off, and now we got them. We got to bring it up. We got to talk about it, right? So this is where we're at. We're finally seeing that first buy signal printed right here on that daily chart. I'm always zoomed out. I'm not all zoomed in. I'm not worried about that stuff. I'm very zoomed out. We're usually looking at a daily chart, the 4-hour chart, or even the 1-hour chart. When trading futures, I'll use a shorter time frame. But right now, the overall market, the grand scale of things, we're seeing that right now we're getting that first buy signal on BTC, which makes me excited. Then we add the next one that I like right here. We've had this one, right? The parabolic star go long. You know, we're trading into this volume gap right here, which is exciting. If we can break above this 50 moving average while we're inside of this volume gap, we can see, you know, a ride up to 117 or going back into this price discovery of all-time highs, breaking to 123 on BTC. Now, let's say, and I want to be transparent with you guys, if this thing, you know, flicked back red, we got a sell signal. The parabolic SAR flipped on the top. We break underneath the 200 moving average, and we break underneath. If you look, this 200 moving average, this red line lines up right where this upper value range is at, and also where this gap is at in this volume profile. And this could be a section where we see BTC if we break to the downside, right? But it's not looking like that. The markets are hot right now, which is exciting. I can see the numbers climbing. I want to get some more numbers in here before I bring up my special guest from the Knine Finance DAO. You guys know him as Taxon. And I mean, boy, did he get everybody rallied up last time about Knine Finance. I know some people went and checked it out after the stream. So we're definitely going to be running that up again. Let's go ahead and talk about Ethereum really quick. Let's clean this chart up as well. As you can see, I've been very active trading because these charts are loud with a lot of noise, fam, but nonetheless, for good reason. Let's go ahead and get that perpetuals one up, the one I like to pay attention to. Let's clean this up a little bit. Welcome in, everybody. I'm seeing the numbers. We're also doing some live streams on the new Party social media app, so it's really nice to get exposure over on that side as well. All right, let's come over to this daily chart. Let's start adding our indicators. We got that volume profile. We're being cautious with ETH, right? Because we've seen this gap right here, like, we get into that gap and we break underneath the 50 moving average, we could be in some trouble. But this is why we start adding the other indicators to see if that's something that's going to happen. Now, we still got the sell signal. We haven't printed a buy signal yet, but with BTC looking pretty good, BTC continues to rally. Maybe ETH turns right back around and prints some buy signals as well. But I would be cautious because if it continued down and it broke underneath this 50 moving average, when it trades into these gaps, they kind of flush really fast. Either they flush up really quick or they flush down really fast. Wherever you find these gaps on these volume profiles, they're really exciting to trade. And they also let you know how the market kind of moves, where you're like, hey, I'm going to be careful because, if I get a sell signal right here, we already got one, but if it breaks underneath this 50 moving average, it'll most likely trade into this. So you'll either short it or you're going to wait for it to find some kind of support, so then you can work your way back up and possibly find a solid long position on ETH. Now, I'll be keeping an eye on this upper valley range right here, around $3,500, even the point of control, $2,500. You guys let me know in the chat. Do you guys see that possibly happening if we break underneath the 50, and continue a little bit down? But with BTC doing this, green signal, if it gets above the 50, you'll start to see the rest of the market get kind of bullish. You get those interest rates cuts to actually happen, and you get the market to get really excited again, and then the market turns into becoming a runner all over again. So let's go into Solana next. We got ETH right here covered. These are the prices that we'll be keeping an eye on. If it trades into this gap, that 3,500 is really realistic. But if it gets some buy signals, we're turning this thing right back around and heading towards 5K. That's all on the board for all of these plays, really. I got Taxon waiting for me, but I want to get some more numbers in here. Like I said, if you guys want to hear more about Knine Finance, I need you guys to share this link. We got quite a few topics to talk about, and I want to make sure that you guys don't miss not one bit of this. So definitely pull up right now and share this big time. So let's go into Solana right here. Still holding really strong. This buy signal, this trend, all these red candles that people got shooken out of goes to show you that, hey, if the trend's not broken, you don't got no sell signal, just be stoic, be like a statue, and plan your trade and trade your plan. And until you get that signal, you just stand there like a strong statue, a big Knine Finance statue, and you don't make a move, and you just let it keep going, because those little pullbacks were nothing. They were just red candles in the uptrend when it came to Solana, and Solana was just holding strong nonstop, man. It did not matter. The rest of the market was pulling back. Solana was holding really strong. So upper valley range, again, a section I would keep an eye on. I know the markets are doing this nice little uptick. Is it going to last? We're not sure. We don't know. What we're seeing right now is that, hey, we want to keep an eye on this upper valley range of that 189. And again, here goes that little gap. Yeah, that little gap right there, and a touch on the 50 moving average. That could happen, right? I don't want to chase this trend. I'd rather wait for the next opportunity for me to make my move on it. All right. So that's the way that I want to go about it for sure. See everybody pulling up, man. Make sure you guys leave some comments, man. Get your communities to pull up. Welcome. And the numbers are almost there. A few more numbers there. And if you can, I think we got this posted in the main chat as well. But get your most bullish communities up here if you guys can, 100%. So Solana right now looking really good. 216. It could definitely come down to this 188. Keep an eye on that. Okay. So let's go to XRP next. XRP, baby. Man, I'm feeling bullish today, man. When I got Taxon up here and the Knine Finance DAO and this community is ready to make some moves, it's just exciting, right? So here you guys go. This is what we've been waiting for. My XRP fam, listen up. Now, this is the first kind of almost technically the first touch, even though this broke underneath and it did touch it right there. We want to be cautious, right? We don't want to get caught up in this, where it turns right back red and we fall into this gap and come down to the point of control. But if you wanted to trade this is what you've been waiting for. This is that long, boring part right there that's really hard for people to wait for. And it's like, okay, here goes your buy signal. This could be the time where you start aping into XRP to get yourself, trading it back all the way up to, $3.60 something cents. Or you're like, I don't know, still underneath this 50 moving average, could potentially come into this gap. Maybe I wait for this thing a little bit longer, right? Maybe wait for it to come a little bit lower where it's crashing into it a few more times. Because a lot of times, there is that case of the first mouse gets the cheese, or the first mouse gets the squeeze, the second one gets the cheese. And even though this is green right now, it can still turn red. But a lot of times the first attempt on tapping a moving average, they're failed, right? This 50 moving average like this, it'll go something like that. And then once it starts crashing on it, it'll trade back above it. So we'll see if that's something that plays out. But this is a buy signal that if you're waiting for XRP to look somewhat more bullish, and you're, hey, when is XRP going to turn around? Well, boom, here we got daily buy signals on BTC. We got daily buy signals on BNB, actually on XRP, and we'll go to BNB right now since we brought it up. So keep an eye on potentially this point of control still. But if we break above the 50 moving average, we're going right back to all-time highs on XRP. Let's go to BNB, my fam. We're almost there. We got just about the right numbers, I want the right crowd. All the Knine finance up in here. Here we go. A perfect example of the minute you could just turn it right back around. You're trading this right here. Buy signal. Hey, I'm riding this wave. This trend is mine. I get a sell signal. Cool. I'm out of it. No problem. This is the insurance you pay to get you, where you got money to keep trading, right? So you're out, and then another buy signal. Okay, cool. I'm right back in. This is a daily chart. So a buy signal on a daily chart, you're going to get a couple of days where it at least runs a little bit. There's some money to be made there. And if you want to find a nice, really good entry, you'll use the 4-hour chart with the daily chart to get you, hey, let me get in down here around that 850 mark. And then, ride this to that $900 that it's going to now. And that's a great trade that you guys can do. And I have some links for you guys down below in the description, which I'm doing this on BYD-Fi on a daily basis. You guys can do it as well. So I would suggest starting a demo account first, going from there. And then after being profitable on a demo account for 30 days or so, then, add some real money to it. But right now, BNB looking like it wants to go to all-time high. BNB could potentially go to all-time high today. That's how bullish BNB is looking, right? It can break $900, start heading towards that $1,000. But if we get a sell signal right here, break underneath the 50, you guys notice that I'm looking towards some downsides right here. And this is the upper value range right here at 757. All right, so that's BNB right there. We got just about all of them covered. We got XRP covered, Solana covered, Binance coin covered. We got ETH covered, BTC covered. Let's go ahead and bring my friend up. Make sure you guys get your communities in here. My friend and one of your guys' friend as well, man. I mean, he stored up quite a lot. The comments from the Knine Finance DAO was like, all I could imagine was everybody carrying Taxon up on the shoulders. Like, it was just like that type of rally. And I get excited for that stuff, and especially for a guest like this. So Taxon, welcome up, brother. It's truly a pleasure to have you up here once again to talk about Knine Finance DAO. We had so many people excited about it, so many people interested that never heard about Knine Finance DAO, some people that were already invested in Knine Finance DAO that, got re-excited about it, and, a lot of your community being really proud of everything that you did. So I'm really excited to have you here up for a second time on Knine Finance DAO, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Rico. Again, thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak for my community, Knine Finance DAO, because I'm really grateful that a student like myself or a 22-year-old youth like myself has this opportunity to speak about this project with a highly intelligent KOL like you, Rico Moneybags.
Man, I appreciate that, man. You're such a real one. I swear, even like before we went live, just having that conversation with you is just, So organic, so easy to talk to. You're so passionate about what you're doing. You're such a great guy. You're locked in about this play, man. And we got a few things to talk about today. We covered quite a few last time, but we got some topics to talk about. We got a lot of new listeners and things like that. So maybe you might want to introduce yourself for those who probably don't know who this great guy Taxon is that I'm talking about. And let everybody know how you found K9 Finance DAO, and introduce yourself to everybody.
So before I get into my own story, I want to give a quick intro about K9 Finance DAO, because that's the reason I'm even here. K9 Finance DAO is doing something super important for the Shibarium ecosystem. It's all about liquid staking. Basically, letting people stake their Bone tokens and still keep liquidity, which is a game changer for DeFi. You get KM Bone in return, so you can still participate in other DeFi stuff without locking up your assets. And the whole system is built around 3 tokens: K9, KN Bone, and ESK9, which handle governance, staking proof, and long-term incentives. It's smart, it's secure, and it's helping Shibarium grow in a real way. Now about me. Just a little intro so you all know who's talking to you right now. My name is Toxon. I'm 22 years old and I live in Germany. I've been active in the crypto space on social media since around 2024. For example, like Twitter, Telegram, all that. And honestly, when I found K9 Finance DAO, something clicked. I felt this sense of belonging, especially when I joined community spaces, or for example, the weekly DAO space that is currently being hosted, or that is hosted by none other than Pulse Digital Shame. And I started talking to the K9 Finance community, and it wasn't just another project. It felt like home. That's why I try to support K9 Finance DAO however I can. I'll share more about myself later during this stream, but I just wanted to give you all a quick introduction into who I am and why this means so much to me. Thanks again for having me, Rico Moneybags.
It's honestly a pleasure, bro. Honestly, it's really a pleasure to have you guys up here, and to be 22 years old and to be this locked in, to be on these live streams. And like I told you before the stream, Taxon, and this is kind of one of the most parts that I resonate a lot with you, is that you're not just speaking for yourself. You're not just speaking for your own investment. You're not just this is something very selfless, and it's kind of amazing what you're doing, like coming up here and speaking for so many people. And I think that's why the K9 Finance DAO was so excited. The community, I should say, was so excited to see how you came up and spoke for them. So to have you up here, bro, you're definitely going to make it into space. And I think anybody who's listening right now, if you're paying attention to this, whether you're a part of the K9 Finance DAO, whether you're a part of XPX, the project that I launched with an amazing team on Smart DeFi, whether you're, part of the next pump fund play that comes out, as you build yourself up in this place, you're so early from all these opportunities that, you could really do something great. We're all extremely early. Only, man, 22 years old. Oh my God, Taxon, you're in it to win it, bro. Like, there's no way that you don't invite me on your yacht by time you're 30. There's no way you're not saying, Rico, hey, remember, we're doing those live streams. Let's do a live stream off of my yacht, because K9 Finance DAO has been doing great for me, right? And that's only 8 years away, and time flies so fast. So, yeah, man, it's a pleasure to have you up, brother.
Yeah, the pleasure is also mine, Rico. And listen, if it's okay, Rico, I gotta jump into something real quick that's super important for everyone tuning in right now. We are talking Bone Crusher, and not just the old version. Nah, this is Bone Crusher V3, and it's bringing some serious heat to Shibarium. So first of all, can you maybe check out the where it says launch app? Do you see it below, Rico? Yeah,
Launch app.
app.
Yes.
Yeah, there. Can you maybe click on farming? Okay, there it is. Okay, so I know some people might have heard about it already, but I want to make sure we are all on the same page because this update changes the game. So let me break it down for you, Rico Moneybags, and all the listeners right now, just so nobody misses out on what's happening. So yeah, Bone Crusher V3 officially launched on August 21, and it brought some fresh farming tools to Shibarium. We've now got a brand new K9 K and Bone pool, and the old Bone K and Bone pool got upgraded too. The original one is going to be deprecated by September 18, 2025. And the rewards, they are slowly being reduced. So people migrate to the new setup. And just to remind everyone what Bone Crusher even is, it's basically K9's liquid staking app on Shibarium. You stake your Bone tokens and get K and Bone back, which is tradable and usable across DeFi. So you're earning rewards without locking up your assets. That's what makes it so powerful. It gives you flexibility and keeps your capital working. Now with Bone Crusher V3, could you please click that, Rico, where it says Bone Crusher Yard V3? Yeah, that exactly. Now with Bone Crusher V3, the new Bone K and Bone pool keeps the same reward rate, 800 ESK9 per second, and the new K9 K and Bone pool starts with 150 ESK9 per second. These rates, of course, can be adjusted through governance, so it's all about keeping things sustainable. And yeah, this upgrade is not just a small tweak, it's a whole evolution. It's laying the foundation for new Crusher tech that's gonna push Shibarium even further. Right now, K9 Finance DAO is sitting at over 3.6 million in TVL, which just shows how strong the community and the protocol are. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure we touched on that again because it's super relevant and exciting. And for anyone new tuning in right now, Bone Crusher is one of the key ways to get involved with K9 Finance DAO and earn real yield while supporting Shibarium. Rico, my friend, I think you got your mic still muted.
Thank you, my brother. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what you got my back, bro. No, I was saying that's pretty amazing, bro. Because honestly, being able to make passive income, but at the same time being able to use these K9 bone tokens to, across the network for whatever you need is a ton of flexibility. I don't think people realize how much this is going to be really a meta as retail continues to come in. You definitely want to be a part of this early because who does not want to make passive income but not have these things where you can't use them still, right? So not only are you making that passive income, but you're also being able to use these for whatever you want across the network. Jackson, are you there, brother?
Yeah, I'm still there, of course, Rico.
Okay. All right. No, I think what you guys are doing here is pretty amazing. And I think, a lot of times a lot of tech like this doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. But when you're the builders getting ready for retail, this is what it's really all about. So I can see where people are saying this is how you can make your money go a little bit longer. Not only let it go a little bit longer, but actually make some passive income as well.
100% Rico. And could you maybe take a look at the K9 Finance official website again, if it's possible?
Absolutely.
Okay, so could you please click at the top in the middle? You see? Oh no, no, please could you maybe scroll down a little bit? There you see it, K9 Finance DAO, a little bit at the top. Just a little, yeah, there. K9 Finance DAO has secured 200K Google Cloud for startups. Okay, now Rico, I want to shift the focus for a moment and talk about something that's honestly a game changer for Canine Finance DAO. This isn't just another update. This is a major milestone. Canine Finance has officially partnered with Google Cloud. Yeah, Google. That's
Yeah.
not just hype, it's real and it's powerful. We've joined the Google for Startups Cloud program, which gives us access to some of the most advanced infrastructure in the world: AI tools, cloud computing, data analytics, security frameworks. And on top of that, we've been awarded a 200K grant. That's 200K in cloud services, fully covered by Google. No treasury touch, no budget stress. That's financial flexibility at its finest. For a Web3 project like ours, backend costs can stack up fast. But now with Google's support, we can focus more on building, scaling, and growing the ecosystem rather than worrying about infrastructure builds. It frees up resources for marketing, community expansion, and tech innovation. And let's be real, this kind of backing doesn't happen to just any project. It's validation. It puts Canine Finance on the radar of serious players in both tech and crypto. It shows that what we are building on Shibarium isn't just promising, it's solid, it's scalable, and it's worth investing in. We've already we are already the largest validator on Shibarium, securing over 2.5 million Bone tokens with perfect uptime. Now, with Google Cloud behind us, we are stepping into a new phase: faster transactions, stronger security, and even AI powered governance tools to make the DAO smarter and more inclusive. We are also looking at open sourcing Shibarium's transaction data through Google's BigQuery, which means more transparency, better analytics, and new opportunities for devs and researchers.
Bro, this is so impressive. I swear, I'm always blown away by your guys' context, the way that you guys move. I mean, if anybody's watching, there's no way that you can't be impressed with that. I don't think I've heard of anybody really stepping in this direction right here. This opens up quite a bit, man. Like you said, not just, well, the tech is awesome, but it really opens up tons of exposure and gives it a lot more credibility. If you guys ask me, like, if I'm looking, like, obviously this is something that's bullish for people like us, right? I always want to look at things like, okay, people who are in the trenches, people like us, right? But I also want to look at things from like the retail's point of view, because at the end of the day, that's the goal. Like, I know a lot of times we get lost in the sauce, and it's a lot of fun to play around in this space and stuff, but you know, when you're looking at long-term plays like Canine Finance DAO, this is some things that you want to look at. You want to kind of think in those regards, like, hey, coming from somebody that's a trench warrior or whatever you want to call yourself, and then also coming from somebody that's like coming from retail. And this brings, man, not only is it great marketing for like the people who love to see stuff like this in our space, but quite a bit of credibility, because this just looks really good on your guys's part, man. You guys are amazing. Shout out to the Canine Finance team. You guys pulling this together, because like I said, from the outside looking in, somebody would be like, well, this is a project I want to be with because it's, you know, got this Google Cloud connection, right? And then from the inside looking out, like, you know, being a crypto investor, you're like, oh, well, that's just great marketing for the space. You know, who doesn't like the idea of their crypto project rubbing elbows with Google? Because at the end of the day, this is what we want. This is the direction that we want crypto to head towards, where we're recognized as these tech companies like, you know, Google and all the other greats. So Taxon, I mean, congratulations on this. This is massive, bro. Honestly, do you have a favorite part about this that you're most excited about? Or, you know, besides the whole thing, obviously this whole thing is absolutely amazing, but when you first heard about this, like, how excited were you on this? Because this is kind of next level stuff.
So first of all, Rico Moneybags, thanks for the congratulations. And in my opinion, I think this partnership isn't just about cloud credits. It's about long-term sustainability, innovation, and positioning Canine Finance as a major force in Web3. Huge shout out again to our dev team. They've been grinding non-stop, and now they've got the tools to take things to the next level. We are just getting started, and trust me, everyone, what's coming next is gonna be even bigger.
Whoa. And you know what? At this point, when you're doing stuff like this, I wouldn't doubt it. If you guys are listening right now, if you guys are new to what's going on right now, I mean, it's hard to be like he said, and even bigger. Talk about sprinkling this with a little bit of FOMO. You're getting good at this, Taxon. I better watch out. I'm gonna have to retire soon. I'm gonna send you a new mic. I'm gonna send you the camera. I'm gonna start coming up on your show. Because I mean, you're right, man. This is just the start of something really great, and I get excited not just for like obviously K9 Finance down and the grind, and seeing this thing evolve over time, but you know, this is also a great step for crypto in the right direction. So, I really like this a lot, Tax, and this is awesome. How's the community been doing with this? I know there's got to be like there's got to be some kind of FOMO around this. This is just good news right here. I mean, and if you told me there's something big around the corner and you're making things like this happen, it's like, you know, that's like telling me it's raining cats and dogs outside. If I trust you, I don't got to look outside to go look. I'll just take your word for it. I said, okay, Taxon said it's raining cats and dogs outside. I'll take his word for it. I'm betting on it.
So I think because when this announcement about the Google for Startups grant was announced officially on Twitter, I think it has been, if I remember correctly, several months ago. But if I remember correctly, the reaction of the community has been very positive, and they've been also very proud of the K9 dev team. For example, like Buzz, Turtle, Ipo, and Shima, because those people have been doing great things for K9 Finance DAO, and I'm, very proud to see that K9 Finance DAO has these kind of respectful, intelligent, and responsible devs, because without their, I would say, expertise and intelligence, K9 Finance DAO wouldn't have achieved those accomplishments it has achieved with the help of those K9 devs. Of course, there have been also other people involved, the K9 community, but I also wanted, to give a special shout out again to the K9 devs, because in the last live stream, I forgot to give the K9 devs the spotlight they deserve, or the shout out they deserve. So that's why I want to do this in this live stream.
Man, we're both gonna give him a shout out. I think you did a great job last time. You're honestly amazing, bro. But yeah, I mean, this is impressive. And even though this is just headed in the right direction, when you see things like that, I mean, I think that's a great announcement that any team or any community would love to hear, man. So yeah, moving to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, man. I know that's pretty bullish, but we got some more things for everybody. It's like you came ready for everybody, and that's what's really nice about doing these live streams with Taxon, bro. It's always a pleasure. You're always welcome up here. You got the Batman line. You and the K9 Finance DAO community. You guys hit me up. You guys have all access granted to come up here and keep pushing forward on a solid project, bringing real utility that people can use today. Right to the forefront.
All right, Rico, and to everyone tuning in, I want to start this part by saying it officially and also talk about something else. The season 1 of the K9 quest is now over. It's closed. But before we move on, I think it's important to give a proper intro to what this whole thing was about, especially for anyone who's just hearing about it now. K9 Quest wasn't just some random airdrop. It was a 90-day campaign by K9 Finance DAO designed to reward real engagement across the Shiba Inu ecosystem. It tracked your wallet history, on-chain stuff like Shib, Bone, Leash holdings, validator interactions, DAO votes, even off-chain activity like social media and referrals. All of that was converted into XP, and that XP will help determine your share of the upcoming K9 token airdrop. And the numbers? Crazy. We had an average of 7,200 daily active users over the full 90 days. That's real people showing up, doing quests, earning XP, and building with us. In total, over 24 million quest activities were completed. That's wild. It shows how strong the Shib army really is. So yeah,
Yes.
season 1 is done, but the impact is just beginning. And who knows? Maybe season 2 is already cooking behind the scenes. I mean, with that kind of energy and participation, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Big shout out to everyone who took part. You didn't just earn XP, you helped shape the future of Canine Finance DAO and Shibarium.
Let's go, bro. That is so awesome, man. Numbers don't lie, man. That is food. Oh, that's 100% A1 right there. I love how this is going right now. That is absolutely amazing for you guys. And I seen this is becoming a meta. You guys kind of started a wave with this, quest idea, and yeah, those numbers are absolutely amazing, brother. Seeing this grow, and honestly, why not do that again, right? Maybe we're hearing a little bit of alpha right here for the first time, and if this quest does happen again, let's make it where we announce it on here as well, because this is something that we have now, a goal to go up for the next one, and the next one going a little bit higher. And as we continue to expand, we're going to look back like, hey, remember when it was only 20 million and now it's like 100 million, right? And that's what it's all about. It's about getting these messages out there, and getting the exposure, man. You guys are not. Yeah, the power of Shiba Inu is undeniable. The power of the Shibarium network is undeniable. The power of all these numbers right here coming together, and what you guys can do to make something happen, it's really up to your guys' imagination, because you have the support from the community. That is super impressive. That level of support and interaction should not be ignored. So, maybe we're hearing it here first. Maybe Quest 2 coming up in the future, fam. I mean, something to be excited for. And like he said, it's not just about the XP that you're earning. It's about, showing everybody how, when people come up with a plan and a goal, that it can be accomplished, and it can be made happen. So super cool on that. I think I'm very bullish on that as well, just like you as well. I mean, look, you got everybody talking great about you already in the chat, man. Taxon, we're going to get you your own microphone and your own setup very soon, brother. You're going to be the K9 Finance influencer for the future.
Thanks for the kind words, Rico Moneybags. And can you maybe check out the link that I shared in our main chat about the blockchain futurist conference? In our private chat here in this live stream. Okay, there it is. Okay. So Rico and every listener right now, I want to take a second to talk about something really exciting. K9 Finance DAO is officially a copper sponsor at the 8th annual Blockchain Futurist Conference in Miami this November. That alone is a big deal, but what makes it even more special is that one of our own, My Name is Matt, or Matt, is speaking there. For those who don't know him, My Name is Matt is a DAO member at K9 Finance. And honestly, in my personal opinion, it's an honor to have him represent us on that stage. He's got deep experience, and when he speaks, you just feel it. Like you don't just hear the words, you listen. You can't help it. If you ever heard him live, you know exactly what I mean. And this is more than just a talk. It's a chance to connect. Events like this bring together people who maybe never touched crypto before, but they show up, hear someone like Matt speak, and suddenly they're curious. They start asking questions. Maybe they check out K9 Finance DAO. Maybe they join the Telegram group. Maybe they become part of the K9 Finance DAO community. That's the power of moments like this. It's not just about the tech, it's about the people, the energy, and the stories that pull others in. So, yeah, I think this is a huge opportunity for K9 to reach new audiences and show that what we are building, not just on Shibarium, but in the future of Web3. And there you can, everyone, so also to you, Rico Moneybags, and also to every listener right now, there you can see my name is Matt, who's the official speaker for Canine Finance DAO at the Blockchain Futurist Conference in Florida.
I love these conferences, bro. This is so important for communities to get out there, for community members to get out there, for DAO members to get out there, because like I said, you're not just representing yourself. You know, we went to the BTC conference for XPX. We went to the Rare Evo event for XPX. We even had KOL go to the Payment Expo in Mexico City for XPX. And I'm going to tell you guys, it's not just about something like, oh, this is supposed to reflect on the chart, which it does in due time. Honestly, we saw since the BTC conference, we've been in a nice little uptrend ourselves. But the networks, the networking that you're able to do, the contacts that you're able to have, that's what these things are all about. And like I said, not everybody can make these trips. So, you know, you're bringing that conviction stronger for everybody. So big shout out to Mud right here. My name is Mud, representing the K9 Finance DAO. This stuff right here, we need to stack these up. Honestly, I like the idea of a project stacking these events up little by little, because hey, when you're out there, you're wearing your XPX merch, you're wearing your K9 Finance merch, people are asking you about, well, hey, what is that? What are you bullish on? You want to be around these people that are just as excited about blockchain technology as you are. And I swear, it's not just good for your project. It's not just good for your investment. When you come back from that, it's good for you. Like, honestly, like every conference that I've gone to has been so fulfilling. And it's, man, I get back tired. A lot of you guys know I'm beat by the end of the conference. My legs are hurting. What's not hurting, right? My toes are hurting. This is hurting. But like, I have like the biggest smile on my face, because this is what I love to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And this just brings all of that conviction and brings some reality to it, some tangible, because spaces are great. Of course, live streams are great. I would hope so that you guys are loving this live stream for K9 Finance DAO. But there is something special of hanging out and shaking hands with like-minded individuals that like what you like. And I think everybody that's listening right now, if you have a chance in your local town, or you hear about a blockchain meetup or something like that, go check it out. It's really refreshing to go in front of people that also like to talk about the same thing that you guys like to talk about. So big shout out to you guys. November 5th and the 6th, that's pretty cool, in Florida. Who knows, man? Yeah, who knows? So very nice. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to that one, to this event right here, but it is pretty cool. I swear, I love these events. They are really healthy for, you know, you almost just, it's almost like some fresh air. You come back just ready to go. Like, you're well rested now. You remember why you're in this, you know, because you get to talk to all these other people who get you, you know, all excited again. It's not just the same people that are in your immediate circle that you're constantly trying to convince about, hey, I'm telling you, K9 Finance is where it's at. You know, I'm bullish on blockchain technology. It's like, it gets exhausting trying to convince other people that don't understand how exciting it is to be a part of blockchain technology this early. But when you get to, you know, go to these places, it's like you get recharged. So I'm looking forward to My Name is Mud being recharged, and him recharging the rest of the community, the rest of the investors about K9 Finance. So that's pretty bullish, bro. Loving this, and congrats to this little achievement as well, because these little things, man, they stack up. You know, you're not supposed to see them on the chart right away, but next you know, you meet the right person here, you meet the right person there, and it just keeps building. And like we say in the space, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You got to get out there, you got to meet these people. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to be able to do it from behind these 4 screens all the time, right? So shout out to you guys for making this happen. Shout out to My Name is Mud. Maybe we could have him up on one of these spaces or one of these live streams as well. Anybody that you want to invite up, they're more a friend of yours is a friend of mine, bro.
You're welcome, my friend. And if it's okay, Rico Moneybags, then I would like to move on to the next topic, if that's okay for you.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Okay, there it is. So, Rico, I want to take a moment to dive into something that's been developing behind the scenes and could be a major step for the future of Canine Finance DAO. I'm talking about the potential expansion to the Polygon blockchain. And just to be clear from the start, this is not a launch announcement. Nothing is confirmed yet. What's happening right now is a feasibility study, which means the dev team is doing deep research to figure out whether expanding to Polygon makes sense for us technically, economically, and strategically. The DAO voted earlier this year on Snapshot with their K9 tokens to fund this exploration. And now the research has officially begun. The team has already shared an initial progress report. And I've got to say, I personally think this is a really smart move. It shows that Canine Finance DAO is thinking long term, not just reacting to hype or trends. We are doing our homework before making any big decisions. And that's exactly how serious projects should operate. So far, the findings are pretty promising. Technically, there are no major blockers since K9 is already built on Polygon POS. The base level integration looks smooth, in my opinion. Of course, with Polygon 2.0 introducing new architecture like AGG layer and restaking infrastructure, there's still more to analyze to make sure we are future proof. But that's part of the process. Validator access is another key point. Polygon supports up to 105 validators, and right now 102 slots are filled. K9 hasn't applied yet. But based on our performance and reputation on Shibarium, we'd likely stand a strong chance if we decide to move forward. And here's something really interesting. When Lido exited Polygon in June 2024, they left behind 86 million POL still staked. That wasn't because of low demand. It was a strategic decision based on their initial priorities. But it proves there's still a huge appetite for liquid staking on Polygon, and K9 could step in to fill that gap. The dev team is also doing market research on existing liquid staking solutions like Stata Labs, ANKR, KELN, and Figment. That helps us understand where Canine Finance DAO can stand out and what kind of partnerships or integration might be possible. Now, if this expansion happens, the Canine token or the token mechanics would likely involve users depositing POL, probably on the Ethereum blockchain, and receiving KN Pol on Polygon. That KN Pol could be used across the DeFi ecosystem. It's a similar model to what we already have with KN Bone on Shibarium, just adapted to a new chain. Infrastructure-wise, becoming a validator requires staking at least 10,000 POL. The DAO could, I think, fund that directly, but we are also exploring grants, partnerships, or support from the Polygon team. Those conversations will only begin once we finish evaluating the time, cost, and ROI internally. And now, before I move on, I want to share the thoughts of Buzz, one of the lead devs at Canine Finance DAO. I really respect his perspective, and I don't think it's right to talk about this topic without including his voice. Buzz made it clear that expansion should never be rushed or done out of frustration. It needs to be thoughtful, calculated, and beneficial for all stakeholders. He said that feasibility studies like this are essential. They help us understand the path forward, the pros and cons, and whether the move would actually be a net positive. He also emphasized that expanding to Polygon doesn't mean, and I repeat it again, doesn't mean abandoning Shibarium. In fact, it could bring more liquidity back to Shibarium, since settlement would still happen there. I personally, so my own opinion, I agree with Buzz, because also I think, just like what I said, in my personal opinion, an expansion only makes sense if there's a grand opportunity from Polygon, not just for the financial support, but because a grant sends a strong signal to the Polygon community that Knine is a serious project that they should embrace. It's about more than money. It's about recognition, marketing, and building trust. And he also said something that really stuck with me personally. You don't build technology just because you can. You build to meet a need, attract users, and create value. If the expansion doesn't meet those goals, then it's better not to do it. And even if it doesn't happen, K9 DAO is still strong, still focused on Shibarium, and still growing. So yeah, I think this whole process is a great example of how K9 operates, with intention, with strategy, and respect for the community. I'm excited to see what the final report says, and I'm proud to be part of a project that takes growth seriously.
Nice, bro. Very nice. I do think that if you guys wanted this to happen, you guys would most likely get that approval. And I think sometimes, like, I know how some people might feel. I could feel like the underlying where it's like some people might feel torn, but you have to be willing to continue to expand. You have to be willing to just continue to reach a little bit further, go a little bit further, talk to more people. And if expanding to Polygon makes that sense for all the hard work that has been put into, whether it's K9 Finance DAO or the other builders on Shibarium, that's what you're supposed to do. You can't get like almost landlocked where you almost don't want to expand. So this could be a massive opportunity for not just K9 Finance DAO, but anybody else that was building on Shibarium altogether. Because I'm sure what your guys' context, like you said, there's 105 slots, 102 slots are filled. But if you guys wanted to, most likely you guys probably could get approval. I would not doubt that, because you guys do have some amazing contacts. So I would always look at things like this as a form of like, hey, how else can we get more people to find out about K9 Finance DAO, right? It's like, well, expansion to, the Polygon network could definitely do that. And there's a lot of maxis on Polygon that won't go to another chain. Like, that's one thing that I learned. Like, even going to the BTC conference, those orange pill people are still orange pill. Like, if I talked about Ethereum, it was like talking about a meme coin, right? That's how it was at the BTC conference. When I went to the Rare Evil event, I went to the little separate thing for those who had the VIP pass. You guys can go to the Cardano event. You guys could see how the Cardano people were so Cardanoed up and down that, they haven't even expanded out of there. So I'm sure that there's a lot of investors that people probably are sleeping on, as far as that are on the Polygon network, that people think, well, just because I'm using all the blockchains, like I use almost all of them, that means everybody else has to be using all of them. And that means everybody else has to be seeing what we got going on over. But that's not the case. And I've learned that from firsthand experience, especially this year, going to these events. That's why I'm saying these events are so important, because when I went to that BTC conference, if I said Ethereum, it was like I was talking about a meme coin. And I go to this Rare Evo event, you see the Cardano people so bullish on Cardano. They don't even got a Phantom wallet. They're not even talking about Solana. They were focused about building on Cardano. So, there's probably a lot of investors that would like what K9 Finance DAO is doing. And the only way to get exposure to them is to expand to the Polygon network. And I think, that's a great idea as well, bro. So congratulations on this. I know this is not nothing that's concrete or anything like that. This is not, there's no launches or nothing, but I think the idea has a solid foundation as we're looking as, hey, how can we get more people excited about what we're doing, right? And let's tap into these people. If we don't provide them value, they're not going to provide no value back to us. If you don't go and give something to the Polygon network and something that they feel passionate about, that they like, what do you think? How are you going to get these people to jump over, right? Like, you know, XPX, like I got cool with a lot of people from the Cardano network because we allow off-ramp solutions for ADA, right? So if you're not bringing something to them, and you know, if it's in the form of liquid staking, like what K9 Finance DAO can bring to the table, then you know it's going to be really hard to get these investors. So I think this is a strong step in the right direction. And you guys know, any decisions that you guys make, any updates that we got to make along the way, Taxon, you're more than welcome to come up here and keep us on the same page, right? You're the one with your fingers on the pulse of K9 Finance DAO, letting us know the latest and greatest. So as this continues to develop and more information starts to come out, I definitely want to continue to learn about this. And also, if you're part of the community of K9 Finance DAO, let me know in the chat, how do you guys feel about this? You guys have a voice as well that speaks magnitude, especially on this channel. What do we got next, Taxon? My brother from another mother, my German brother. That's what I'm gonna call you now. You're my German brother. You didn't know that.
Yeah, so again, thanks for the congratulations, Rico Moneybags. I definitely appreciate it. And before we move on, I really want to take a moment to give a spotlight to some amazing people in the K9 community, because behind this project, there are real names, real faces, and real work being done. And I feel like they deserve recognition. Of course, there are many more people I could mention, but I don't think you or the listeners want to sit here for 5 hours. So I'll keep it focused on a few individuals who've really stood out. Let's start with Couch Adventures. He's been part of the Shib ecosystem since 2021 and joined K9 through the Leash pre-sale. He didn't just invest, he studied the project, learned about liquid staking, and got involved. He started as a listener in the DAO spaces, joined Telegram VCs, and eventually became a QA analyst and customer support manager. He's helped test Bone Crusher, onboard users, moderate chats, host weekly VCs, and even organize trivia nights. For Ethereum Miami, he's helping with booth logistics, videos, QR codes, you name it. Couch is everywhere, and he's never treated it like work for him. K9, for Couch Adventures, K9 has been life-changing. Then we've got Mikey. He joined K9 thanks to a friend's recommendation. And for him, K9 means opportunity to grow, build, and become better. He's hosting VCs, game nights, and co-hosting the weekly DAO update spaces with Pulse Digital Shane. He's always bringing energy to the community. Next is Radar. He joined when the Telegram group had under 100 members and was hit by a bot attack. He stepped up, cleaned it up, and earned the nickname Bot Killer. Since then, he's been a mod, a sub-DAO member, and even represented K9 at ETH Toronto. He hosts Sunday night VCs and keeps the chat safe and active. For Radar, K9 means resilience, loyalty, and community power. Then there's Matt. He joined after hearing about K9 from mutual Shib contacts and was convinced by Bass's leadership. Matt sees K9 as a Shibarium project, done right, with strategy, professionalism, and structure. He's humble, says he's a nobody, but he helps with engagement, education, and DAO work every week. He's a quiet force in the background. Karma Gang is another one. He discovered K9 through Sarah from Bad Idea AI. For him, K9 means long-term passive rewards and a united community. He's a daily Bone Crusher user and hosts weekly Telegram VCs every Wednesday night. He's consistent and committed. And finally, I have to talk about Shane, Pulse Digital. I, I've joined a lot of Twitter spaces, and I'll be honest with you all, also with you, Rico Moneybags. Shane is the best host I've ever heard. He's not just informative, he's entertaining. He makes you want to stay and listen. If I had to compare, it's like back in school when you first hear the name Albert Einstein in physics. That's how I feel about Shane in Twitter Spaces. He's a legend. When you hear his name, you think of Spaces. He's built a reputation that's truly respectable, and he's earned every bit of it. Shane joined K9 through Mr. Lightspeed and became, I quote, the voice of K9. He hosts the longest running DAO update spaces every Thursday, leads the marketing sub-DAO, and is part of the roundtable of dogs. He's also the founder of Pulse Digital Marketing and co-hosts the roundtable space for Mario Nafal. He's everywhere, and he's always pushing the DAO forward. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to these people. They've helped shape K9 into what it is today. And even though I couldn't name everyone, just know that I see you, I respect you, and I appreciate what you do. Let's keep building together.
Very nice, bro. Very nice. Shout out to all of those names as well. Um, Definitely amazing people in this space. It takes a village to make all this stuff happen. I want you guys to come over here as well as check out, the Canine forum. This is where you're going to hear a lot of these great people coming up with different topics that they want to vote for. This is a perfect example of this community and these people that are bullish on this, pushing for what they want this project or what direction they want it to go to. So, man, so great to hear you call all these people's names because like we have a lot of great people in our community as well. If it's not for them, it just wouldn't be the same. You need the Texans. You need, you know, every single the Mikey. I see him up in the comments as well. You need all these people to come together to be able to make this all work. So, man, you got a great community supporting you. And yeah, I can't wait to go to one of these spaces as well and join in with one of you guys on these spaces, have some fun with you guys, talking about, canine finance, talk about what I got going on. But it seems like we have some very exciting times up ahead because you got a solid project that's still building. You have a solid community alliance, everybody coming together for the same cause. You got a strong dev team that can push for what's going on for canine finance, whether it's the expansion of to the Polygon network, whether it's the contacts with the Google Cloud, which is super bullish, whether it's making things happen in Miami. You have people pushing for this project in every single direction, and it takes everybody to make this happen. It really does. It really does. What else you got for us, Taxon? I mean, that was an amazing shout out, and that's one of my favorite parts, honestly. It's just if I was just doing a lot of the things for just me, I wouldn't go as wild as I do, man. It's honestly the people. We got Psychedelic Angel in our community. We got people in the UK. We got people from Australia, from the States. We got people from all around the world. And that gives me, the ability to, when there's those long hours or, you're feeling extra tired and you don't want to wake up and you're like, man, I got this, that, and the third. But it's like there's so many great people pushing. You got people like yourself, Tax, and you got My Name is Mud doing the Florida thing for you guys. It's like it's that team effort, that camaraderie. It almost gives you like an extra like reserve of energy to keep doing all the things for this greater cause. So it's really amazing to see you highlight these people and to have people like this around you, for sure, bro. What else you got for us, brother?
So again, thanks for those nice words and for the kindness, Rico Moneybags. And before we move on, I really want to take a moment to give again a spotlight to some amazing people in the K9 community, because behind this project, there are real names real faces and real work being done. And I feel like they deserve recognition. Of course, there are many people I could mention, but just like I mentioned at the beginning, I don't want this live stream to be like 5 hours long. Because and we've already talked about Couch, Mighty, Radar, Mud, Karma Gang, and Shane. But there's one more person I absolutely have to mention: Crypto Queen. Queen is someone who brings a lot of heart to the canine community. She's always respectful, always kind, and genuinely supportive of everyone around her. Whether it's in Twitter spaces or in our chats, she's constantly uplifting the vibe and making people feel welcome. And when it comes to content, she's a powerhouse. She's the one behind most of our TikTok videos. And I have to say, those clips are honestly so well done. They are fun, they are engaging, and they are exactly the kind of content that makes you want to watch instead of swipe away. You know how TikTok works. If the video doesn't grab you in the first few seconds, you're gone. But Queen knows how to, get the attention of the TikTok users. She's got that instinct for what works and it shows. Her videos are not just entertaining, they are smart. They reflect the energy of Canine and they help bring new people into the ecosystem. I've seen her work and I can tell you, she's got talent, she's got vision, and she's made a name for herself in this space. She's earned every bit of respect she gets. And I'm proud to have her as part of the Canine family. So yeah, big shout out to Crypto Queen. You're doing amazing work, and we see you. To everyone I mentioned again, and even those I didn't, you're the reason this project feels alive. You're the reason people stick around. And I just want to say thank you to Crypto Queen and also to every Canine Finance DAO community member. Again, let's keep building together.
Shout out to the Crypto Queen. Let's go. Shout out to Taxon, man. Not forgetting everybody. And like he said, we'll be here for 5 hours if we named all of you guys. But you know what? We got more shows. We got more things that we're going to keep doing. You guys, the chat belongs to you guys. So make sure you guys are heard in the chat. But yeah, shout out to the Crypto Queen. She's absolutely amazing. I bumped into her quite a bit. Pretty sure we follow each other. She's absolutely amazing. You see her in spaces and you see her doing her thing, and that's what it's all about. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And when you get around great people like that, it's really nice to have them, in your circle representing what you're doing and consistently, talking about your favorite project. So yeah, shout out to the Crypto Queen, man, for sure. Shout out to this whole community. I see all of you guys in the chat. It's Fast, Mikey, all the K9 Finance people who are listening to this later on. Big shout out to all of you guys as well. All right, Mr. Taxon, do you have a conclusion for us all, man? You done your shout outs. We went down the list of this amazing projects, amazing updates. As far as I think the Polygon stuff is pretty exciting, to be honest with you. I know some people get kind of scared when there's something new or something, it's not what they're used to or whatever. But I'm actually pretty bullish on that because, like I said, I've been going to these events and this is how you get new investors to really see what you got going on. But, brother, man, what else you got for us? You want to wrap this up for us? Your conclusion on everything that you have going on for K9 Finance, DAO, all these amazing people.
So, Rico, I could sit here and talk about my qualifications, and I would now want again to take this live stream as an opportunity to give you, Rico Moneybags, and every listener of this live stream an idea who this person Toxon really is. Also, what I do in the community, the VCs I host in Telegram, the Twitter spaces I've joined, and all that. And yeah, I do host regular VCs where we talk about crypto, K9, and just have a good time with the community. I've also started joining Twitter spaces. Shout out to Raid Sharks and Deathwish for giving me the chance to be part of that. Thank you, Deathwish, my friend. that means a lot to me, and I really appreciate that you are giving me always this opportunity to participate in the Raid Sharks monthly Megalodon spaces or in the Shill spaces. But today, I don't want to repeat what I already said in the first live stream with Rico Moneybags. I want to use this moment to give you, Rico, and everyone listening a better understanding of the person who's speaking to you right now. I want to share something personal, something I've only talked about once in the Canine Telegram group, but never in a live stream or on Twitter. So, when I was 15 years old, I wasn't doing great in school. To be honest, I was always late, never did my homework, and spent most of my time playing PlayStation. I wasn't focused, I wasn't serious, but one day my father came to me, not angry, not yelling. He just said, I quote, "My son, can I talk to you for a moment?" And I said, "Of course." He told me something from his childhood, something that was hard for him to say. He said, I quote, "You know, my childhood, I don't even know if I can call it a childhood. My family was one of the poorest in the city." He told me that when he was in school, his mother would sometimes give him money to buy a sandwich after class. But instead of eating it himself, he would give it to his father, who was very sick and spent most of his time in the hospital. As a kid, he said it hurt him deeply. He saw other children playing football with their dads, laughing, having fun. And he couldn't do that. He had this emptiness inside of him. But he never blamed his father. He knew it wasn't his fault. He gave him the sandwich because in the country they lived in, there wasn't strong health insurance. And to be honest, the food in the hospital, even a dog wouldn't eat that, to be honest. And as I mentioned, they had no money to buy any kind of to buy food. You know what I mean? And before giving the sandwich, his father, my grandfather, would ask, I quote, "Did you eat already?" And my dad would lie and say, I quote, "Yes, I ate. I'm so full. I feel like I had 6 chickens." Just so his father would accept the food. But the truth was, my dad often went to sleep hungry. He didn't want to break his mother's heart by asking for more. And then he looked me in the eyes and said, I quote, "My son, I'm telling you this because I want you to use the opportunities you have here in Germany. You have school, you have safety, you have a future, but you won't get anywhere if you spend all day playing PlayStation." After that conversation, he left the room, and I sat there thinking, asking myself, how could I be such a careless son? How could I waste my time knowing the sacrifices my father made? From that day on, I changed completely. I started doing my homework, going to school on time, helping my mother with dishes, with the garden, everything. And yeah, I'll be honest. When I was younger, I used to argue with my dad sometimes. I wasn't proud of how I acted back then. Sometimes I still feel ashamed when I think about it. But that moment changed me. It made me who I am today. It's one of the reasons why I always try to be respectful, patient, and supportive, especially, for example, in projects like Canine Finance DAO, because I want my father to be proud. I want him to see that his sacrifices weren't for nothing, that he gave me a better life and I'm doing something with it. So, yeah, I know this kind of story isn't something people usually share in a live stream on YouTube. It's not common, but I wanted to do it. I wanted to be real with you, Rico Moneybags, and with every listener in this live stream. And and I hope that that helps you, Rico, and everyone listening to understand me a little bit better right now.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for that story, man. I really appreciate it. We need that, man. We're real people. A lot of people try to disconnect this from the real world, and they're saying, I do this in IRL or this is that. But really, we're spending our real time doing this, and there's real reason behind a lot of the reasons why we do these things, right? And to know that little bit of a background it's very powerful, bro. It is extremely powerful, and I'm sure you're gonna make your father very proud. A lot of these things do take time, and they do come with their challenges and things like that. But if you keep pushing forward, nothing really wants to stand in the way of something that just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. So the fact that you're here today doing this live stream, the fact that you're being expressing yourself and doing it on here, I really appreciate you opening up with us, because there are our feelings in this stuff. We have our emotions in this. Is more than just money invested into a MetaMask wallet or a Phantom wallet. There's our time, there's the time away from our families, there's promises that we've made, there's goals that we want to accomplish, there's all these things behind these PFPs. And it's really nice to hear that background story, bro. And I appreciate you doing that here on this live stream, because we want to know the people behind these things. We want to know the people that have a reason behind it. It's not just to get even at somebody else. It's actually that meaningful to you. So that's absolutely amazing. I appreciate you sharing that with us today.
You're welcome, Rico Moneybags. And I also definitely appreciate those nice words and your kindness, my friend, because the reason why I got this courage to share this personal experience of my father and myself in this live stream right now was because you personally, Rico Moneybags, have always, treated me equally. Even though you, Rico Moneybags, are a intelligent key opinion leader in the crypto space, you treat me equally, and that's why I had this courage to share this personal experience with you and everyone in this live stream right now.
Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. We need that, man. We honestly need that. There's a reason behind the things that we do, and I actually like them to be that deep. I need them to be that deep, because some days it's going to be hard for you to do it. And sometimes the meaning behind what you're doing needs to be bigger than just yourself. Like, a lot of people don't think that it's probably a good idea to try to make somebody proud. But you know what? That might get you up in the morning when you don't want to get up, and these stories matter quite a bit, and they're the substance to a lot of these goals being achieved. So maybe somebody else right now is listening that needed to hear that, not just myself. Getting a good reminder every once in a while is healthy for anybody, but maybe there's somebody in the K9 Finance DAO, somebody in the XPX community, maybe somebody who's listening to this live stream later on, that we get these reminders from somebody that's like, what, here goes this guy. He's willing to be vulnerable. He's, talking about what he's passionate about. He's, well educated in everything he's doing with his investments. He's on a live stream, not just talking about what he's, putting his money into, but what he's putting his heart and soul into. And people need to hear that. So thank you so much for letting us in with that right there, bro. That I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, Rico. And before I wrap up this live stream, there's one last thing I need to do. And I feel like it's long overdue. In our first live stream, I didn't really give the K9 devs the spotlight they deserve. There were a lot of other topics we covered, and I guess I just forgot it. But today, I want to make sure I fix that mistake. Because behind this project, behind the DAO, the staking, the community, there are real people building it, and they deserve to be recognized. Let's start with Turtle. He joined K9 early in 2024, already had years of crypto experience, and a strong background in launch strategy and operations. He's not just a dev, he's the DAO chair. He helps shape governance, coordinates proposals, works with the marketing sub-DAO, and makes sure everything the community votes on actually gets done. He's the one keeping everything in sync. And honestly, he's one of the reasons this DAO runs so smoothly. Then we've got Shima. His story is wild. He met some ship loving friends at crypto events, got connected with Buzz, Turbo, and Satoshi, and together they started brainstorming. That's how K9 was born. He's the one who saw that liquid staking was missing on Shibarium and decided to build it. He's been working in crypto for years, but this was the first project he saw go from idea to full launch. And you can feel how much it means to him. He said it himself. K9 in the community gave him the drive to work harder than ever before. That's real passion. Next is Ipo. He calls himself lucky, but honestly, it's more than luck. He spent 7 years at U Waterloo studying math, computer science, and physics. He's got a strong software engineering background, and Shima brought him in when K9 needed a second engineer. Ipo works on the front end of our DFs, making sure everything looks clean and runs smooth. He also handles backend stuff like task verification and databases. And he's just getting started. He's building cool stuff with cool people, and that's what makes K9 special. And now I want to talk about Buzz. Most of you already know him. He's kind of the heart of K9 Finance DAO. He's been in crypto since 2017, was deep into Lido finance, and saw the opportunity to bring liquid staking to Shibarium after meeting the Shib team at Futurist conference. But Bas isn't just a dev. He's, I would say, a very passionate and respectful community member. He's the one who brings people together, who sees the vision, and who pushes the project forward with energy and clarity. He's the reason so many of us even joined K9. And I gotta say, Bas has my full respect, not just for what he's built, but for how he treats people with honesty, with patience, and with real care. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to these devs. Turtle, Shima, Ipo, Bus. You guys are the backbone of this project. Without you, none of this would exist. And I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. Thank you for building. Thank you for believing. And thank you for letting us be part of it.
Awesome, bro. Awesome, man. Shout out to that team, man. They're getting all these good words from Taxon, man. That's absolutely amazing, brother. I mean, they're really making things happen. And it is kind of cool to see something straight from an idea and people coming together and it's a reality. And it takes a village, the person doing the UI, the person setting this up, the context, the know-how, the liquidity. And then you have a real product and stuff. So, for everybody to come together and make that happen, obviously they deserve their flowers. And that's what we're here to do, man. We're here to give flowers to the serious builders, to, those community members, those who want to take things to the next level and continue to push on their favorite projects. But that's absolutely amazing to see them all come together, make this happen. And, you see the reality right now. And to have somebody like Taxon backing you guys up is absolutely next level. So, bro, yes, the K9 Finance DAO team. I knew there was something special when I first seen it. I got in super early in it just because I know the context that you guys have. I just know there's no denying it. The way you guys can move into space, most projects wish they had those type of contexts. You guys can really make anything happen that you guys want. So I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for this team as well. I love seeing you guys, when it comes to this Google Cloud stuff or whatever it might be. It's always something a lot bigger than what the average project can pull off, and you guys continue to pull that off. The partnerships with Shiba Inu, the way that Shiba Inu responds to everything you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. You guys got the great team. You guys have them incorporated in the team. It's this is a perfect recipe for greatness. And I'm looking forward for you guys getting that greatness that you guys deserve, this community as well. And sometimes sometimes it's like, man, how come we're not seeing what we want right now, right away? It's like, this is, serious utility being built for the adoption of cryptocurrency. This is what we want to be seeing built for us. And a lot of times we get, the excitement of the next this, the next that, but sometimes you just want to be locked in right now with these type of projects, these type of communities, these types of team with these contacts that are building for the future. Because at the end of the day, that's where you want to be. You want to be buying Amazon stock when it was only shipping books, right? You don't want to do it when everybody else is doing it. You're already late to the party. So if you want to make sure that you're extremely early on, a great team, great community with some amazing contacts that are building real utility and already looking to continue to expand, Knine Finance is one of these places, man, for sure. Taxon, anything else you got for us, brother?
To be honest, since you mentioned that you joined Knine Finance DAO early, can I maybe ask you a question right now, Rico, if that's okay for you?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, thanks. So maybe you remember that I mentioned that Knine Finance DAO has a whale group, Rico. Maybe you remember that. Can I ask you, did you join the Knine Finance DAO whale group? If that's okay.
I have not. I have not.
Okay, so if you are interested and if you are eligible, please, send a DM to Turtle on Telegram. I can send you his username because I think it would be great to see you, Rico Moneybags, in the whale group, of course, if you are eligible. And I think I mentioned the requirements to join the whale group in the last live stream, but if it's okay, maybe I can mention them again if it's okay for you, Rico.
Yeah. Why don't you mention them once again?
Okay, so the requirements to join the Knine whale group are simple. You just need to have at least 400 million Knine tokens, for example, on the Ethereum blockchain or on the Shibarium blockchain. Those Knine tokens can be, for example, staked on Bone Crusher, or you can lock those Knine tokens on Bone Crusher on the real yield staking section. You know what I mean? So it's pretty simple. These are the requirements. And if you fulfill those requirements, then you need to send Turtle a DM on Telegram to join the whale group and connect with other fellow whales who are holding, I think, even more than 400 million Knine tokens, to be honest. I think that, I think because if I remember correctly, we currently have 145 Knine whales who are holding at least 400 million Knine tokens. But I think most of them, at least 50% of those whales, are holding more than 400 million Knine tokens.
Amazing, brother. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I know I bought 2 bags in the early days. I just got to check that wallet because I bought 1 bag and then there was a dip or whatever, and I just loaded up again. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to let it sit there. And then, I launched my project and started getting busy with a bunch of stuff. I got one of the best diamond hands in the space, bro, because, one, I trade futures, so I'm making my own money on a daily basis, but I'm so active with other stuff that I can just let something else I could just let it sit there and cook. So I haven't even went back to it or touch anything over there. So I'll definitely go over there and check. I know that I did 2 buys though. I had bought in and then it took a dip and then I bought in again and I was like, all right, I'll hold this. And, I basically bought in from that list of contacts that you guys had was crazy. It was like, I don't know where it's going to go, how they're going to do it. But when you have a list of these people, Satoshi, you got, all these like top names of everybody kind of together on that, advisory list that you guys had on the first V1 website. It was like, all right, I'll park a bag there and just see what these guys can do. And, they got the contacts. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And slowly but surely, you've seen that just the level of things that you guys have brought out is so crisp, is so clean. And you guys have really, really good contacts, man. So yeah, definitely check on that. If you guys are interested, definitely join their Telegram as well. I'm actually going to share their link tree right here for you guys, where you guys can join and join their Telegram. Also, check out their website Also, give them a follow on X. That'd be pretty solid. But join the Telegram and tap in with Taxon. He's probably going to be in there quite a bit, and continue to stay active. Taxon, do you have anything else for us that you want to let everybody know? If you want to wrap this up, I got a couple things that I want to talk about to all the groups that are listening, but I do want to make sure that you got everything out that you want to say.
Since we already had one live stream with you, Rico Moneybags, and I mentioned at the beginning that I won't mention or that I won't repeat anything that I mentioned in the previous live stream, the only thing left I have to mention is the conclusion, because I already mentioned everything I wanted to mention in this live stream right now.
Sounds good, brother. Go ahead. Fire away.
Rico, and to everyone listening right now, I just want to say thank you. Not just for being here, but for giving me the space to speak, to share, and to be myself. This wasn't just a live stream for me. It was a moment to connect, to reflect, and to show to show every listener of this live stream who I really am. I know I'm not perfect. I'm not some crypto genius or some influencer with millions of followers on Twitter. I'm just Toxon, a guy from Germany who his parents immigrated to Germany and who found something special in this community. A guy who used to be lost, who used to waste time, who used to not care about anything in his life except PlayStation. But life taught me something. My father taught me something, and now I carry that lesson every single day with how I speak, how I act, and how I treat other people. K9 Finance DAO isn't just a project to me, it's a place where I found purpose, where I found people who believe in something bigger than themselves. And I'm proud to be part of that. So yeah, maybe I don't have all the qualifications, maybe I don't speak perfect English, but I speak from the heart. And I think that's what matters most. To Rico, to the devs, to the community, and to every single person who gave me a chance to speak in this live stream right now. Thank you. I'll keep showing up. I'll keep supporting, and I'll keep trying to be someone my father would be proud of, because at the end of the day, I'm not here to impress. I'm here to express. And if you felt something from what I said today, then I did my job. Thank you again, everyone.
Ooh, that was good. I'm not here to impress. I'm here to express. And that is the truth, man. That is the truth, man. Those are very nice words. It's my pleasure to have you up here to share what you guys got going on. I think we even went a little bit further this time, and I can only imagine what the next one's going to be like. This is what these spaces are all about, man. We covered all these amazing things coming on with K9 Finance, some potential alpha, with the stuff with Polygon, but we actually got to know the man behind this bullishness of K9 Finance, of Taxon, and why he's so passionate about this. And like I said, a lot of people like to disconnect this from IRL. This is IRL. These are your promises. These are your goals. This is your real money. This is your real time invested into what we're doing right here. So sometimes I know that we're supposed to separate it and do all this stuff, but when you're passionate about this and you're driven about this, you give it your all. So how can it not be a part of your lifestyle, right? So to have somebody getting their community ready, to get all this stuff ready for us for this live stream, and then somebody like Taxon to come up here to give credit to the community, to give credit to the team, to why he's bullish on this project. That's all amazing. But man, I'm bullish on you, brother. You're an absolutely amazing person. I'm going to go through some links that I want you guys to follow for K9 Finance DAO. I'm just going to spam them in the chat right now in case you guys are listening later on, right? I know a lot of you guys listening right now, you're like, hey, Rico, I see the links already, but I do want to post these for those who are listening later on. That is the K9FinanceDAO.com website. And then I got a show for you guys as well, the Just Shop Crypto merch store that we got live right now for multiple projects, not just, XPX merch. And we're not doing that. This is, basically for everybody to be able to break out of their comfort zone, break out of their echo chambers, get some cross pollination on what you're building, on what you're doing in this space. And of course, this Just Shop Crypto was launched by the project I launched with a fantastic team, XPX, that was launched on Smart DeFi. Let me get a couple more links for you guys just to make sure that you guys are tapped in on all this right here. I might as well get the link tree, make it even that much easier for you guys. And then we'll get into this show. What a great way to start the week. Oh my God. To start the week like this it's just good. It feels good, right? The markets were a little meh, right? They're still a little meh, right? They're not exactly that exciting just yet, but a live stream like this, Knine Finance DAO, this amazing community pulling up makes it happen for me. So I want to talk about a few things for you guys. Obviously, the project I launched is xpxpay.com. You guys come over here, check out the website where it allows you to off-ramp 70 different cryptocurrencies on multiple blockchains. You guys can even off-ramp Shiba Inu. If you guys got some Shiba Inu you guys want to off-ramp, boom, Shiba Inu's on there. You guys can off-ramp that. But something that we've been working on that this is really, really cool for a lot of people. This is to help us all break out of our echo chambers. It happens no matter what, whether you notice it or not, whether you want it to happen or not. The third week or the fourth week or a month later, you look up and it's the same people over and over and over again. If you guys want a way to create a catalyst, like Kendu says, you are the catalyst. Come over to justshopcrypto.com. This is a perfect way to not only get your community excited about your merch and show it off, but a great way to get your community to make some posts on X, a great way to get the Kendu community to check out what you're doing, a great way to get the CBC Zach Humphreys community to see what you're doing, a great way to get the XPX community all over your stuff and make some noise for you guys as well, because it's not just about getting your products listed on here and we got the merch. It's the XPX community is going to make some noise for you guys as well. This is a marketing machine in the making for you guys. Are we going to sell $1 million in merch the first day? No, that's not what it's all about. It's about us breaking out of our comfort zones. If we stay on Easter Island for the rest of our lives, they're going to come find us later on and be like, who built all this stuff? This is how you break out of your echo chamber. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So we have the Zach Humphreys merch listed on here, which is already being seen everywhere, which is super exciting. Come give us a follow over here. I love seeing this because this went from idea to the team talking about it in a Telegram to this amazing team, Ali, Dave, and Marlon, putting it all together to seeing people all around the world rocking the merch, okay? And we could have been some team to say, you know what, we're going to make this the XPX merch and we're only going to sell XPX and we're going to have a tribalistic mindset and it's going to be, how would we have reached this handsome gentleman if we would have been tribalistic? How? Tell me how, and I'm up for it. But I think when you provide so much value to the marketplace, it will provide value back to you. So we have this handsome gentleman right here, Extreme. Let him know what's up. We also got my man, Dr. Khan, also another chat in the space. Right here. CBC merch. Where? At the UFC event. Hanging out with Paid, hanging out with, the guys from the Crypto Breakfast Club that they're, now sponsored by VeChain. They got their partnership with VeChain, which is crazy. And this was just the mad scientists once again cooking up one. Oh, here we go. They're like, whoa, Rico, too much alpha for everybody. Then we lost the cam. That's all right. But here we go. The mad scientists with this amazing team cooking up. And now we got this, CBC merch in pairs. So if you guys want your merch in pairs, if you guys want it all around, definitely come over here to Just Shop Crypto. Get your project listed, get your community active, rocking this merch, and get some new people to people you would have never even been able to reach. Get them to get some of this merch as well. So I'm so excited to bring you guys Just Shop Crypto. And of course, it comes from a project that does all things payments, has been live almost going on 15 months, holding strong, super solid, launched on Smart DeFi. Let me refresh this really quick for you guys as well. Launched on Smart DeFi with a healthy daily chart. This is one of the most healthiest daily charts in all of crypto. Why? The dev team is super active. We have over 79% of the supply staked. We have asset backing coming from these amazing smart contracts called Smart DeFi, fam. How amazing are they? Well, every buy and sell transaction has asset backing. What is that? Well, these XPX tokens are backed by BNB, allowing you to take out a loan against your XPX tokens, grab that BNB, and that's right, put it on a Visa card, use it in the real world. What was crypto meant for in the first place? To be an electronic cash system, easy peer-to-peer system, X pays X system. And that's what we have right here, man. This was an amazing show with the Knine Finance one and only Taxon. This is an amazing project right here, XPX, and I love seeing great projects come together, making a live stream happen like this, having some fun together, whether it's a community member from the Knine Finance DAO, whether it's me and this amazing team from XPX bringing real utility. You guys, we are bringing you guys some hot plays. So make sure you guys don't miss out, man. Tomorrow we're going to be doing another live stream for sure. This was that Knine Finance DAO and that XPX live stream, which is super special that I don't want you guys to miss out. I'm going to show one more link because we got some things coming over here very soon as well. I don't want you guys to miss out on this. So come over here to Crypto Bill Pay, where you guys can off-ramp your cryptocurrency. If you're a business, accept cryptocurrency. If you want to pay your employees, use the payroll feature to pay your employees using our pay portal. So don't miss out on all this great stuff. I just posted that link right there for Crypto Bill Pay. Use your crypto in the real world today, fam. That's what it's meant to do. I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Give XPX a follow. Give Knine Finance a follow. Give me a follow at Rico Moneybags as well. Give the Knine Finance a follow at Knine Finance. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys can't do that, continue to come back and experience the abundance of money with me. Until next time, you guys know what it is. Later.